Welcome back. Corsair DreamLeague Season 9. And Thomas playing the tunes. We have some Dota to discuss. Because Game 1 just ended. We are in our first elimination series. In the middle of the best of 3. Immortals versus Empire. And this game, it started out fairly even. It started out fairly slow as well. And in the end, Immortals just slowly crept ahead. And then they won very convincingly towards the end. But it took a while to get to that point.
Yeah, it did. I think the lane matchups in particular for Empire were great when they had the that was intense right there. When they had the PL versus the Quap mid, but I think the adjustments made out. I really liked that they did that move, moving the Queen of Pain top. They sacked Ryoya a bit, and they made Velo have a very good start on the Omni, getting a very good timely Radiance. And MP for me was definitely the star of the show, though, getting all like the perfect chrono situations, and Empire just kind of fell short being able to take these team fights.
What did you make of the game, Owen?
Yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy game at parts between both sides. But no, all in all, I think Immortals just everything sort of started to click around the 20-minute mark. We are going to see a replay of it, one of the fights where it really did start to swing in Immortals' favour. Yeah. But they just seemed to be much more coordinated than Empire were in the later stages of this game. There were a lot of fights where I don't know if it was necessarily miscommunication or just sort of panic, stress, but there were things happening that shouldn't have been from Empire's side, whereas Immortals, they kept it pretty clean. They were hitting some good combos. MP was getting some really nice chronos, and it made it all in all very hard for Empire to fight into.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot more. We saw a lot of misplays coming out from Empire, and then I mean, we'll get there, but they missed a lot of their spells. They weren't really getting the initiations off, and it seemed like every single time it was just free initiations for Immortals, getting the perfect jumps. MP, the Void, dominant game.
Because you chose this replay, Fogged. We can go take a look at it.
Yeah.
So please talk us through.
So this one for me is they actually see the smoke coming out, and then we see this perfect Chronosphere catching the two ideal targets. But initially, you see on like the mini map here, they actually could see the they had 3 wards placed, so they could actually see the smoke coming in, and none of Empire were able to react. Yoku also missing that epicenter as well as the stun too. I feel like if he had actually just stunned right away and gotten the Void at the start of the fight, maybe something else could have turned out for them. But a lot of missed spell casting coming out from Empire and just missed coordination when they knew that this play was coming. This was a smoke rotation that they saw coming in, and this is where the big turnaround comes in, because you look at this net worth, it still is Empire in the lead by quite a good margin but for this fight, and then everything turns around. They kill all 5 heroes and they get the Roshan right afterwards. So.
Yeah, that basically kind of secures the deal, and it's a nail in the coffin for Empire. And we talked about which players we wanted to compare for this specific matchup, and you chose Nyx and MP. Yep,
I think MP, he won the game handedly for his team with his great positioning of the Chronospheres, while Nyx, I felt like he fell flat a little bit on this OD. He farmed a lot.
Yeah.
But he didn't really make it.
Still farmed less than MP, apparently.
Yeah, he still farmed less, and I didn't feel that impact of this OD. I really didn't feel like they were setting up I mean, I didn't want to like just target Nyx so much with this one, because I think Yoku also was a big factor of their loss in this game, because I think it's really dependent on when you have like something like hero, like we talk about like Brew and Mag or something like this, you want someone else to start the fight so that you can follow up. But I felt like Yoku, he wasn't able to find the opportunities on the Sanking a lot of the times, and him and Nyx, they could actually find these pickoffs around the map if they were actually setting up, like Sanking stun into an OD who just starts wailing on and building on the int, they can get these kills, and I didn't feel that happening.
A little bit of a sloppy game, I guess, for both teams at certain times, but Immortals coming out ahead. Owen, I mean, looking back at that game, is there anyone in particular for Immortals that you would feel like stepped up big time compared to the rest?
I think I would say MP. I was impressed with how well he sort of played the Void. I think a lot of the fights that were kicked off were off the back of him. I don't know if it was him necessarily making the call in the communications, but at least he was the one initiating with the Chronosphere. There wasn't much holding back from him. And yeah, I think, as I say, for me, MP on the Void, I think he's proved that. I mean, we already knew, obviously in the past we've seen MP Void have some very good games, but certainly showing us that he's still got it on the little purple man.
Yeah, because we did have the Hacks MVP vote going on during this game. We can take a look what you guys voted at home. Wow.
All right.
This I mean, MP does win on the side of Immortals,
MP
but
does get the highest on Immortals,
but Nyx.
I think they're being a little mean to Nyx right there, right? They're probably saying the MVP of 4 Immortals is Nyx, right? No, he had a rough game on the OD.
Yeah.
They gave that to him, but yeah, I thought that Immortals also they played really well around their vision. Like I didn't actually get to talk about it in the clip because I was talking about Empire seeing the smoke.
Yeah.
But Immortals actually had these like 2 deep aggressive wards placed for like I think 15 or 20 minutes that never got dewarded, so they can see everything that Empire was doing. So it gave MP that luxury of being able to jump in every time.
So looking forward, game 2. You know, it's best of 3. They have a chance here. This is an elimination match. This is the time where they need to bring it. We've seen that they can draft properly. We actually favored the draft on the side of Empire, but the execution was just lacking. How are they going to fix that if they already had an easier to execute draft?
I don't know if they had an easier to execute draft. I was actually going to say that I think ease of execution is like this. The Chronosphere is always going to be one of those where you just like bam, like Chrono, you can get it off as long as
you gotta hit it though.
Winks. You gotta hit it, but I think for me like. Yeah, easier to take team fights because like you look at Empires and they need these fights to start at, like they need everybody not to get caught on the Chronosphere pretty much. They need to get this fight start out with the Senkin getting in and then Brewmaster getting a nice split and everyone following up. While Immortals, all they need to really do is catch 2 people in a Chronosphere and the fight's won. So I think for me, Empire, especially with the way that they're playing, because I'll be honest, they're not playing well. Yeah. Especially from the Empire that I saw during the qualifiers, they're falling very far flat on their faces. So I think just running an easier to run lineup.
Maybe less greedy, so that they can start get their plan going faster.
Yeah, having OD and PL on the same team is, I don't know. Safe lane OD has had a lot of problems in the past.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one to make work, and there's a reason why. You only see some teams do it in very certain situations. But as for Immortals, I'd like to just see them do something very much on similar lines. I think they've found something that obviously works. They're very good with having MP on sort of these team fighting carries, and the Void was a perfect pick.
Yeah,
so they do this time around Empire. They get that Tiny. Tiny was I believe banned out first phase last game.
He was banned. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I thought right. I was gonna be like, was he ignored? But no.
Yeah. The Omni Knight is now banned instead of the
Omni Knight banned instead. Okay.
Instead of the Tiny, rather. Yeah.
Okay.
And the bans on the side of Empire are the exact same.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's see what Immortals want to get with their opening combo. The strong one's still there. They could take a page out of Empire's book if they wished. SK, Rubik are available. But it gets unlikely to pick the Rubik if you have banned out the Omni. Oh my goodness, look at that look that FN's giving us.
He's not happy after the last game.
No.
I'm ready to see this, see how this transfers into the game.
Very early Lifestealer. Traditionally very good hero versus that Tiny, since you can't toss him back. Oh my god.
Oh.
Jesus.
Death stare.
Okay. So they're putting MP on a hero that's going to have an excellent game no matter what, pretty much. Lifesteal versus Tiny. You're going to have a great time, and then they're securing their safe lane with the Witch Doctor.
It is a very early early Lifestealer pick, right?
Is.
Why do you think that is? Do you feel like they're not worried about any counters?
It is really good against Tiny, and I just think it's really good against Tiny. I think there are games where people are playing the Tiny, they will ban out the Lifestealer, but as you say, it does lead you to sort of being countered in a sense with the rest of the draft of Empire. They grabbed the Bane, already a very nice answer to the Lifestealer, and so that can be annoying in lane with the Enfeeble and such. And obviously having that lockdown through the Magic community is always going to be very nice to have against a Lifestealer core.
I've been liking Lifestealer more and more, especially like, sure, we can say because EG won the last tournament, but seeing the way that EG, that style that they play it, they don't care if it actually has counters. They will pick this hero into the counters and just be like, whatever. This hero is going to have a pretty good game no matter what. It's very hard to shut down a Lifestealer.
No? And I think it sort of puts off the opponents picking a lot of heroes that are good at the moment. It does sort of force you to change your game plan in that sense.
Just very strong safe lane already. Like Tiny, can't really pressure that as hard. Sure, you can kill the supports a bunch, but killing a Lifestealer is much harder to the later stages.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of build the Lifestealer goes for. But yeah, if you do go for the popular one at the moment being the Radiance into sort of Medallion, that just rips through a Tiny. There's nothing a Tiny can do against that when you're running at him, raged up and ready to go.
Radiant team ban.
Well, let's see. Immortals. Anything else they were scared of Empire having their hands on for the first game? They do ban out that OD that we saw Nyx play last game.
Interesting.
The PL, of course, could still be good. I wonder if they at least consider taking out the PL. I guess maybe they don't think. I don't know. It depends where they think the Tiny's going to go.
Previous game in these the bans that are happening right now, it was Morph, Luna, Disruptor, and Gyrocopter that were banned during this time.
Morph, Luna, Gyro, Disruptor.
Yes.
Okay. So lots of carry emphasis.
Yeah, and Disruptor being the odd one out there.
Yeah.
Just banning Jug, you know, playing a Lifestealer. Jug, one of the carries that can work pretty nicely against the Lifestealer.
I think the Terrorblade could look real nice for Empire here if they don't pick a lot of AoE on Immortals. Like these two heroes, traditionally not the greatest to run versus TB. I don't know if they'll pick it on the third, but I think fourth pick for Empire could definitely be Terrorblade.
Yeah, Terrorblade would certainly be a strong fit here.
Yeah. As for Lifestealer, do you really want a vehicle there for him? Is Tusk enough for that?
No, I think you definitely want something.
You want something
else?
else?
You want something else, yeah.
Yeah, they could go for something like that puck.
Because they've still got the offlane and the mid rolls, so the two perfect rolls.
Normal ones.
For at least one of them being that sort of jump and go hero.
Yeah, I like puck a lot versus both Bane and Tiny. Sure, the coil doesn't last as long on Tiny and all that because of status resist, but versus Bane, like it's very hard to get your spells off in a game versus a hero that can stop your Fiend's Grip in two different aspects with Waning Rift and the coil. So Empire. I feel like they need to get, you know, I said this for Immortals in the last game, that they need Febby to have a more impactful hero. So this time, again, they're putting him on the Tusk.
It works
like
out.
from yesterday when they played the ET, he struggled.
That was not.
This time, earlier, he played Tusk. So they're actually going to pick the Sanking again. So Yoku's really been struggling on this hero, though, in my opinion.
Instant Underlord from Immortals in response. So that'll be your offlaner. Still not necessarily that vessel for the Lifestealer.
Razor.
Okay,
Razor,
one of the heroes
Razor Bane versus Lifestealer.
And Razor sort of has fallen off. You know, he had his moment, but sure, it's still a very strong hero, but it seemed like it wasn't that instant first pick, first ban.
I think because of the rise of Death Prophet, right? Like Razor into Death Prophet has had a atrocious win rate, and Death Prophet's been all the new jam lately. But this is,
I mean, this game.
This is a great Razor. It's great versus Underlord, incredibly good versus Lifestealer. So you're gonna have a good lane. You're gonna have a good impact in the later stages as well. I really like that Razor pick. Actually, can't believe that one slipped our minds.
So final ban from Immortals. So as we're looking at the moment, will you imagine Immortals still, Empire still to, well, Immortals are going to still to pick their mid lane hero. So assuming that both Tiny and Razor are going to hit the side lanes.
Ghostic is probably playing that Tiny, yeah, right?
You'd agree with that?
Razor's, I think you want the Razor versus the Underlord matchup. I think it's just so good.
10 seconds remaining.
And Immortals. What do they want? Empire, what do they want to try and take from Immortals? As you said, maybe still looking for that vessel for the Lifestealer.
I still like I really like the puck. Even though, sure, you're going to have a single core Lifestealer in a way, it's good versus the Razor in the game. It's great versus these other three heroes. And 747 does like to play. Sorry, I might always say that. Ryoya, he has like 3 different names to me. Does like to play those type of
What about his Tinker?
Mids.
Is there potential to whip out Tinker this game? Or does it not really fit with the rest of the lineup? Tinker Maledict. That could be nice.
They don't have the greatest vision. Tusk is the only one who can actually give it, but it could maybe be an option.
That is one of his strong ones. Yeah. Nice, yeah. Definitely a question of what Empire want to try and make that mid matchup be.
It is the Tinker ban.
Yeah, I think, you know...
They banned it twice.
Yeah, I mean, he is good. He's good on it, old Rio, so... As you say, even though it might not necessarily be the best pick here in terms of the heroes, but definitely in terms of the team, it's definitely something you've always got to be worried about if you're going against Immortals.
And it's definitely one of those heroes that can completely mess up your own plan.
Yeah, it's just an annoying hero. No one likes to play against a Tinker.
5 seconds remaining.
So, Empire, what do they want for that middle lane?
It's going to be mid, right? Yeah, it's FN's hero.
Yeah, he's having a very active part in this.
What did he say, Owen? Can you translate what he said there?
I mean, I can, but you know, I don't want to give away their secret strats.
He's being very vocal right now. Yeah. More than likely his hero.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I don't know. Can you not just go mid with the PL again?
Go out with a bang, man. Get us some Invoker. Let's go. FN.
Oh, the FN info.
Give me some FN Invoker. He's got Sunstrike setups, right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I guess
not
but your
too
versus
bad,
Lifestealer, dude, it's so hard.
I guess the root is pretty nasty.
I mean, it's not great.
I'm thinking, could you do something like the Storm Spirit? I mean, there's not a lot of lockdown apart from that route. But then I guess at the same time, the Lifestealer's, you know, not going to really hurt the Lifestealer. You get the Orchid. I don't know. Someone with that sort of mobility might be hard to punish.
Well, they got 10 seconds left. They better choose fast. It's an Enigma.
What?
I mean, if you're gonna go out with a bang, Enigma definitely.
I mean, so I will imagine that it is going to be Tiny mid and Enigma is going to go to the side lane. Or are we in some bizarre world where we're going to see an FN mid Enigma? I'm sure that's not going to happen.
Can it not be Razor mid and
Sure,
Tiny
yeah. I
safe
mean,
lane?
yeah. So Razor Tiny mid safe, and Enigma.
But I would still put it.
I don't know. What are you thinking here, Fogged?
Tiny mid, right? Because Razor, you want to be versus the Underlord.
Okay.
That's what.
Like,
Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah. So why the Enigma? I mean, I guess another bit of disable through the Rage of the Lifestealer.
They just wanted to play Enigma, right?
I mean, it
Underlord
sort of came out of nowhere, this one.
Like, just overall, like in terms of being able to interrupt the Enigma, though, they got Witch Doctor who's always going to be outside.
So Witch Doctor.
Yeah, but sure. But there's nothing through what the BKB. You get the BKB
You
in this game.
can
You
punch if you're the
Yeah, no,
very.
I'm sure.
It's very.
If you get Blink on the tusk,
It's like Witch Doctor Tusk, and if they build something like a Dominator on Underlord. Dominator Underlord is
I mean, and again, if the Enigma places the black hole on top of himself, you can't punch him.
I think Underlord Dominator though is definitely a thing in this game. You get the
troll
creep,
get the troll creep,
and you can always net that Enigma. I think that's
Absolutely.
a really big option. I know that Velo really likes building Dominator.
You can always relocate people out of the black hole.
Oh.
You can just use your Uber to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can riff them out the hole. I don't know. What Immortals going to close with? They know what's going on now from Empire. They still need, as we said, Rio's hero mid.
Some Dusa, some Gyrocopter, something like that.
Yeah, actually, wait. So did we decide that he couldn't go for the storm himself, Susie?
I think Dusa or Gyro. I think I just heard them say Gyro too.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it's a Gyro.
Okay. Let's have a look.
So FN Razor, Nyx Tiny, so they outprint the Razor mid.
Okay.
Oh my.
So talk to me. Is this gonna be Empire being able to force out game 3? Is this easier?
I mean, I want to see what they could do with the Ghost Stick Enigma. I'm excited to see that. But I mean, overall, just going from the way that these two teams are playing today, I think I do have to go with Immortals. It just looked a little bit too much all over the place from Empire, and I don't know if they're going to be able to clean it up enough to take game 2.
And
so
Owen? Sorry, Mfogged.
Yeah, they can build the Dominator and stuff on this Underlord. I think Immortals has a good shot. I mean, I hope Empire can actually play it a bit better, though. I hope they can.
Yeah, I mean, they got an
can
Enigma.
execute
It
this
could
better.
be hype.
But they looked all over the place, to be completely frank.
Let's see if they can clean up their act a little bit more here for this second game, and see if Empire can indeed force out that third game to keep themselves in the competition. It is over to a commentary team of Capitalist and Blitz for game 2.
Well, this is certainly a different take when it comes to drafts. We have Lifestealer, Gyrocopter for Immortals, and Empire, Tiny, Razor, Enigma. No slow heroes, no Void, no OD. These are all battlers.
Yeah. They're going to just run at each other nonstop. I hope. That is my hope.
Mm-hmm.
When I think the thing is, they said that it was QO. That was like, I don't know how to describe it. They said he was like the king of just shutting off his brain and running at people.
Yeah.
And I think when they lost QO, they lost a little bit of that, like...
That little bit of magic.
Yeah. I mean, they said it in a more Korean and more like... It sounds like a lot of things that you'll say in Korean sound a lot more malicious.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to translate it directly, then it would sound a lot harsher than it actually is.
Everything that you've told me about your interactions with the other Immortal guys and such, it always sounds like they're being really rude.
Yeah, it's... I wish I could
just
tell
the culture,
people.
right?
It's just the culture. It's just like culturally how things are.
Maposhka gonna be caught out by this smoke gank here, Febby. Well, nah.
Okay, that was not the ice shards that they needed, but they're just gonna immediately back out. That is fine. An expedition is what we'll call it.
An unsuccessful one.
Not all expeditions have the, the same purpose. Some of them are just travel around the world.
They're just drawing maps.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't expect to run into, they're not trying to hunt for pelts or anything like that. This is purely exploratory.
Yeah.
Immortals on a pacifist mission here to claim game number 2. You actually didn't talk about the draft at all. Do you feel like one side or the other has the advantage?
The gyro pick's cool, but I think that this Underlord's just gonna rush Helm of Dom, grab a troll creep, and try to keep the Enigma out.
Yeah.
I think that's his play.
All right, well, For Immortals' sake, we'll see whether or not he's successful.
They need to give
Empire,
him a good
meanwhile.
matchup. They should make sure that he has like the best matchup. They're trying to get him away from the Razor. That's why, on the realness, that's why they went for the smoke there, so they could spot where the Razor's going.
Okay.
And once you know where the Razor's going, you just make sure that you dodge. You can tell they put a high premium on making sure that Velo has a better game.
Yeah.
Because yesterday they stacked him like crazy, and that was not the play. Velo's a good player, but
Yeah.
you need to let him to actually play Dota.
That was his Beastmaster game, right?
Yeah, like
That
that.
was so weird.
What was he supposed to do in that situation?
They're like, Velo, you're going to play Beastmaster. He's like, all right, time to get some farm. Velo, you're going to have to babysit everyone and get no farm. Like, what?
But your roar is also the most important skill in the game, and if you die once, we lose. Okay.
Well, he certainly had a better game one, that's for sure.
Oh, he was sick in game one. He's farmed. Bella's a farmer, man. But they've got pretty greedy cores like MP, Ryoya, and Velo. Like that's a lot of space that you need. But I think this is the meta for it. Like, as VP and EG are proving, like this meta and Liquid, like all three can work. You just have to be extremely good at finding that balance.
And we saw like Roya was willing to kind of tank some of the bad game in game one, right? He was playing a Quab, didn't really have the greatest lane, rotated when he needed to.
Indeed, he did.
So he's going to have to do something similar here, right, with the Gyrocopter. Get whatever farm he can out of this mid lane and then just turn into a bruiser. Just go around fighting and enabling his allies.
On the flip side of things, I think I was a little harsh on Nyx. Maybe I wasn't. I'm not.
I was about to say, were you?
I don't think I was, but I think people are going to be because of his OD. But I think those are one of those games too that like snowball, because there's a lot of pressure on you to do a lot in that game. Like just to give people like insider knowledge of how a lot of the teams work. A lot of people play worse when the game is dependent entirely on them. Like you have to have a perfect game on that OD to win it. Is Ryoya gonna get gone on mid here? He's getting quite low. One more hit.
They're just gonna try and chase him down underneath this tower. Avalanche will take him out. Nyx will be able to get your first blood. Well, there's certainly less pressure on him this time around, right?
That's my favorite sound asset in Dota, by the way.
Bonk.
Donk.
Ghostic in trouble, has the Maledict on him, but was able to dodge a lot of damage by going into the trees, so the Maledict no longer that big of a threat. And in fact, maybe it's Witch Doctor could be in trouble here. Maposhka trying to threaten him.
Ryoya getting gone on again?
Yeah, he's going to be jumped. Nyx already has the tree out. They do have a toss this time around. Snowball, pick up, and save. Prevents a lot of that damage. Stuns up Nyx as well. And he'll be able to walk away from this one. So Febby making the read. Okay, they ganked him once. I need to chill out in this mid lane and make sure that he doesn't die anymore. After all, the Gyrocopter's farm is all important in that laning phase.
Yeah, he has not had a good lane so far. And meanwhile, up at top, you notice that Ghostic is actively denying his Eidolons. I love it when players do this.
Yeah.
I hate it when people play heroes like Enigma and they just, well, I guess all 6 of my Eidolons are dead. They're yours. Take them.
Especially Eidolons. They're actually worth so much gold and are so fragile.
Yeah, Treants, whatever.
Yeah.
Even the Spiderlings, I'm kind of okay with. But not the Eidolons. Anything but the Eidolons.
Playing an Underlord versus a Razor. This is never going to be fun for you. He's stuck inside the trees. He is definitely dead. Didn't really need much of a static link at all. Just the passive and no creeps at FN to be able to chase him down.
Yeah, one of the worst matchups. This is why we see Razor valued so highly.
Ooh, nice Ice Shard block here. They're still going to go for Nyx. Picks up Gyrocopter in that snowball. Another round of Rocket Barrage. Doesn't have the mana for it. Now gets a little bit more, but the toss back from Nyx actually creates a lot of space for him to be able to get back. Well played. Oh,
he
Dubu almost died there. Maposhka really gunning for it. Is going to be slowed down underneath this tower. It may end up dying. It's an early level Maledict. I'm sure it won't be able to do that much damage. So he's okay.
Dubu was trying to show at the same time to maybe bait him in. He's like, look how low I am. You can get this kill, friend.
You can stop the TP if you want.
Trap card. Body room picked up by Yoku. Have I ever told you my idea of like Dota? Is if you want to speed up the pace of the game, make it so that if at any point all 4 bounty runes are taken, the game just ends.
You did tell me that.
Yeah.
You called it the Exodia of Dota 2.
Yeah, I didn't want to call it the Exodia because I don't want people to know that I'm like secret weeb. But yeah. frustrate if the game just like crashes. It's like you lose. People would fight over those things at all times.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you start like building entire lineups around that concept?
Exactly. It'd be a game mode, not like actual Dota.
But
at bottom, Dubu or Velo.
Sleep with a static link, and they have a stun available to them. Velo in big time trouble at the same time. They are going for the mid lane, so while Velo is going to die, if they can actually get the kill on Nyx, it would be worthwhile trade-off, and they do indeed get that. So Immortals, oh, Roya, oh!
Barely
right
catches him.
FN.
Razor even cackles. Does nice rotations. They want to go for mid too, but Miposhka is going to get spotted by this ward. The rocket and the shards barely doesn't connect. That feels like that's happening a little bit too often.
At least he's got the snowball. Nightmare, not going to be able to deny himself, but will stall his own death. But Velo is here. Velo. All right, cool. There's an Underlord here.
4-on-4 mid. Why not?
Yeah.
MP doing that annoying thing when nobody gets the CS or the deny. That's a classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is
What's that player everybody references in the mid lane? Like pseudo last hitting? What's that guy?
I know, what?
I can't remember the joke.
Radiant's bottom tower
There used to be this guy on like the Play Dota forums that people get in arguments about and his like 1v1 skills or some shit. I can't remember the guy's name though. Oh, mid lane.
Nyx caught this time by the ice shards and a homing missile. They have so many stuns and so much catch that it's just impossible for Nyx to play out this mid lane any further if the two supports are off map.
The downside though is that Velo for the most part is exposed at bottom and they are giving freeform to the other two cores. Plus the Tiny isn't even that slowed down at all. He's still second in net worth. So even though these trades seem very favorable, they've got 3 out of the 4 cores at the top of these charts. And even the Sand King is doing better than the Gyro.
Yoku, Burrow Strike, is ready to go. They want to go for Velo, but the two supports are actually going for a gank on FN. He didn't expect that one. And they think he keep him inside of the Firestorm. That is so much damage. And sure enough, with the Pit of Malice as well as the Snowball, Maledic will be able to finish him off. That's why FN turns and deals as much damage, making sure they at least kill the Witch Doctor. And Yoku, inside the Sandstorm, is not going to be threatened one bit.
Really nice rotation. Maledic plus Firestorm does a boatload. And it just wasn't something they expected because they've been playing so much in this mid lane area. They expected them to make the natural rotation back up to MP, who has been exposed for quite some time. I'd imagine this Enigma, though, is going to be pinging. Like, I have Black Hole. They haven't really protected this Lifestealer. They should try to make some sort of play up on top of this guy at some point. But that becomes less likely since they TP'd the Razor just immediately down bottom once again.
Roya trying to complete his phase boots and is doing a stack right now thanks to the double damage rune he picked up. There's the two supports showing up in mid once again. They've had a lot of adventures so far, but it seems like they are finally going to part ways. It's Febby and Roya who are going to make the rotation up to the top lane.
They're going to show the Witch Doctor mid to try to represent that they're not going for this kill, which should make this kill pretty successful here as Ghostic is on the low ground.
Finally the smoke pops. Ghostic doesn't know what to do here, tries to make for the high ground. Wasn't quite the ice shards that Febby thought, but...
He trapped him right under those stairs.
That's true. Pinned him against the tree. It's a good thing Febby is playing Tusk again. Oh, got the Witch Doctor. So if they want to show a Witch Doctor, go for it. We'll take the kill at least.
Radiant's middle tower.
Why'd you say that it was good that Febby was playing Witch Doctor?
Because he needs the practice. Immortals are thinking long term, you know, for TI.
The ultra long term.
Yeah, they don't care about this tournament.
Oh, oh no. They canceled the TP.
They canceled both the TPs. Once the first TP got canceled, then Razor's like,
that had to have been a misclick,
yeah,
right?
I'm not going for this.
The Enigma one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and watch that, but Ghostic
Oh dear.
probably wanted to defend that. And if the Razor comes too, they maybe set up for a play on that. Like that's the only reason Yoku's gotta be up here.
Yeah.
That is rough. You're gonna waste the time of your Sand King now. But maybe they get a play on Velo. Miposhka's going to run into him, catch him on the low ground here.
Dark Rip.
Instantly ult.
Bello. He knows how dangerous the Nightmare Static Link combination is. I think you could at least bait out the Static Link, right? You're not going to die that fast.
Take no risks.
Okay.
Take no risks.
Well, Empire, they're slow to it, but they are going to try and do what Immortals were doing earlier, which is pressure that safe lane tower. Bello is actually going to come up to top lane.
It does let Yoku just farm, and he's really farmed right now. He has almost identical net worth to Ryoya. Like, that's where a large part of this difference lies in, is that this 4-position support pretty much has the farm as a core.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He's like, they're going to have Tiny and Sand King Blink Daggers ready to go, and they could play ultra fast. You just run around, get kills a bunch.
This Lifestealer has not had a good of a time just because, I mean, they've been focusing so much.
I guess who needs counter vision if you just
Pop
have
out.
a bunch of AoE? Yeah, do the damage. You know you have Maledict on him.
Yeah, just pop out.
Yeah, kill him. Slay the beast.
That is a worth kill, by the way, because he has so much net worth on him.
Did he get his Blink Dagger, by the way? He did. He bought out.
Okay.
So
Casual 11-minute blink Shrinkles
crazy.
on a 4-position Sand King.
So Empire are looking a lot better than they did in Game 1. They're being aggressive.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
It helps that all 3 of their cores or just their heroes are hard to kill.
Yeah.
And the Tiny just continues to farm. Nyx is having a much better game. Even though he did die early on, doesn't feel like it really matters too much.
It's the reason why Immortals kept their supports together, right? They need 3 heroes to be able to kill a Tiny or a Razor. Going for a kill here. This is a little bit late on the TP, but they are trying to sandwich, and they are going to be able to sandwich pretty successfully here. Managed to catch FN. Great ice shards there from Febby. This time around, FN is going to be locked in. Support and a core. They lost a tier 2 in the meanwhile, so I don't think Empire's going to be too sad about it. Feels like one of those trade-offs that both teams are going to kind of shrug and say, oh, that was okay.
Yeah. The best thing that happened last game for Immortals was that they took the mid tower like super early.
Yeah.
That allows you to make so many different plays, but this time around it's Empire that takes the mid tower and the bottom tier 2 tower, which completely denies most of your jungle. And the reason for that is it's really hard to ward the entirety of that area, like with 1 ward. You notice that like you're trying, but it takes 2 wards minimum, which is why people just play on the opposite side. But if you haven't claimed that mid tower yourself, it makes it really hard to play the same way, which is why they focus on placing the 2 wards. Ryoya goes down.
They just double jump with their Blink Daggers.
He did not expect that.
Gyrocopter is suffering right now. Trying to go for Miposhka, or trying to block him out, rather. Nice ties back there. Miposhka is free to be able to control Febby if he wants. Nyx is going to be able to TP out in the meanwhile. And Febby, they are forced to use the Fiend script. Miposhka wanted to hold on to it, but kill's a kill. Rod of Atos, huh? For the Enigma, or Underlord. Sorry. Not Helma Dominator. Mistake, William?
Nah.
Nah. Okay.
No. Cool build.
It's the double pit build. You're gonna lead with pit, followed with Rod of Atos, and then when Rod expires, pit catches you again.
Can't you do that with Yules as well?
Yeah. Empire. 4-man on top of the shrine. They are looking real scary right now with their double Blink Daggers. They're going to run into Roya. Actually going for the backline first. Toss up in the air. Gyrocopter is indeed going to get popped. MP makes his entrance into this one, trying to go for Nyx. Should be able to get that kill. They're going to look for more with the snowball into the back lines. Febby knocking up a couple of heroes. Goes for Yoku, trying to stall him up. He's going to be got by the Burrow Strike, while FN is going to drain the entire damage of this Lifestealer. Febby trying to get away to his shrine. Not going to make it out. Ghostic stays on top of him. Meanwhile, Sand King in some trouble. Velo actually deals a lot of damage. They are going to be able to bring him down. Velo, though, is in deep big trouble, and they're going to be catching him with the black hole. Ghostic felt like it was necessary. MP tried to save his core, but honestly, he just doesn't do any damage. Every single time, this Razor is just going to be able to counter him in these team fights.
Oh, they're going for more here.
And do they have Fiend's Grip? Not
1,
yet. 1,
0.
Miposhka from the high ground. Go for it, boys.
Zoom, zoom. Kill the creeps first.
He does have a big Magic Wand stack. Is going to go for the TP out, but there was too much minus armor and too much physical damage on this Razor.
Just a little bit too greedy from them.
Yeah.
They're so content to take these fights that they have no way of winning. Like, they just don't have the items right now to straight up take them in these head-on engagements. Like, this Lifestealer decided to go, instead of going for the armlet that we almost always see nowadays, he decided to go for S&Y, the Radiance, I mean. He goes for armlet S&Y, thinking, like, I'm going to take all these fights. But his team is just, like, ill-equipped to do so at this point.
Yeah.
Because of the speed in which they purchased the Blink Daggers on the side of Empire. It's so much easier for them to fight.
It's also the Underlord, right? It's just not a hero that really enables fights. You've got 3 cores that are all ready to go. Tiny, Sand King, or no, he's actually not a core, but Razor. And then this 4-position Sand King. All of their Blink Daggers, all of their items ready to go, but an Underlord.
The Sand King's pretty much a core.
Yeah, he honestly is. Jump in from Yoku. Going to stall up this retreat from Immortals. Now Velo does not have the Dark Rift, but at least he breaks the static link. Ice Shard's going to be able to keep some of these supports back, but Velo's still going to be slowed down by the Caustic Finale, and he's dead. Yoku's going to look for more. Don't think he wants to dive a tier 2, though.
Yoku's 11-minute blink in tandem with Nyx's 11-minute blink just makes this game, it feels impossible to show anywhere on the map. Like, they're even going to make this play up down at bottom. Nyx going to go for the stun. Yoku with the follow-up, slam dunk.
Roya has had such a bad game. This poor guy, he felt the pressure early mid. He called all his homies into that mid lane, need help. But then the Blink Daggers came up, and Gyrocopter's such a fragile hero.
Yeah, although the kill score is 10 to 15. I don't know what item that Immortals gets next really turns this around.
Yeah.
Like, this Gyrocopter right now is getting a drums, but that's not really a game-breaking item on him.
Yeah. And since we're not going the Radiance build on Lifestealer, nothing's really going to change for him either. S&Y is a moderate buff up in your fighting capabilities, but again, not a game changer. And one of the best things about the support Sand King, William, say it with me, lane shove. Oh, feels good, right?
I don't say that word anymore. That's on me. New Blitz.
New Blitz Dota?
Yeah.
What should I say instead?
You just don't even mention it.
Oh, okay.
It's an unimportant concept.
Ah.
Who cares?
Well, he's killing creeps, which results in some sort of action on the map.
Ah, I see.
As a support.
Brilliant.
What that means, viewer, you can deduce for yourself.
Not baiting me.
It's 10 to 15, 18 minutes in, 10,000 gold lead for Empire. They are looking a whole lot better than they did in game 1, which was honestly just bungling affair after another.
I like your use of that word.
Bungling. It's a really oafish word, you know? I like it.
You could just say bungled.
Bungled.
Oh, Ghostic.
Ghostic. What is his Invis rune? What a timely little pickup. He's going to be able to stop a TP. Has the black hole if necessary. Okay, get out of the snowball and into the dark rift. Go, 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 go.
Get in there!
Get out, Femi. Oh, no!
They both die? What?
How did they both die? Fellow had so much HP.
In a way, they both left at the same time. Do we know if the dark rift didn't go off?
See you in the afterlife, brother. Oh, well. I'll see each other in 12 seconds anyway. Meanwhile, Empire are going to completely own this map. Mid's pushing in, top's pushing in. There's the last remaining tier 2, which kind of wonder whether or not Immortals are going to feel bold enough to contest this. But again, like, what item are you waiting for?
Yeah.
If you can't fight there, then when are you going to fight?
Genuinely hard for me to say. Like, Empire right now have the better vision. They're playing around the map a bit faster. They have good counter heroes. I'd say if it comes to like the ultra late game, they can reset things a bit. But they've got to drag this game out for a while if they're going to stand a chance. And Empire are going to have to make a few costly errors. Like, they're just going to have to run in a few times. You know what that reminded me of? That top play?
What?
It's like when you order an Uber, and the guy's just like driving around in circles, and for some reason it says he's like 5 minutes away, and then it says he's 7. It's the most frustrating thing.
Then he cancels on you?
Yeah, then he cancels and he's like, screw this.
That really did not seem very similar to that situation at all.
Look at this ward, by the way.
Yeah, I see it.
They just don't know that it's there.
What Oh, they spot it now. The courier ran over it. But Empire, they've seen you for far too long, and they've actually set up they're going to be able to catch at least Velo. Ice Shard kind of interrupting FN in his chase. Paralyzing Cast going to control the two of them, but it won't control Nyx, who jumps for it. Never mind, here comes that Paralyzing Cast. Black Hole!
Really?
Stop that TP, boy.
Febby must die.
Has Ghostic done, like, a single Black Hole that's been on a core? I feel like he just keeps on hitting supports.
That's okay.
Because he doesn't need it?
Yeah. If you're killing... One time Misery told me, he's like, if a game looks lost, you just try to kill the captain. To, like, ruin the flow of the game.
Okay.
And so they keep killing Dubu and Febby, so it's like long-term psychological damage.
Yeah. See, this is why we talk about Dota really being a best-of-3 game. It's that deep analysis into the psychological warfare that is Dota 2.
It's the next game on top of the next game.
Yeah.
You're always thinking streets ahead.
Streets ahead, really.
Oh, MP gonna get opened up on Nyx.
They're gonna combo stun him, sure, but MP is still tanky enough to live through that one. Open wounds is gonna get him a lot, but Mapojka, he's on the way, and he's got a Force Staff with a Fiend's Grip. Control up the Lifestealer, another Burrow Strike just to make sure. Dark Rifted, really? So he Dark Rifted, TP'd in.
Yeah, he was trying. It was
that was the next level play.
Yeah. Velo.
If it worked.
That was good effort.
E for effort.
Yeah.
That's what we rate that.
I don't know what kind of analogy. It would be dark.
What?
I was gonna make another Uber analogy, but it would just be dark because the guy died before you got there. Just let the silence play out. It's all good.
Yeah, that was my plan.
This Enigma's got a Blink Dagger now too. I like it when Enigmas don't immediately rush Blink.
BKB feels more threatening anyway. After all, the only thing that can really stop him is a Walrus Punch to the behind.
It's not very close.
And it's hard for a Tusk to do that without a Blink Dagger.
Yeah. I'm still struggling to see, like, I'm trying to figure out a way right now that Immortals comes back into this game. And the only way that I see it is the game has to go for quite some time.
Yeah.
To the point where Empire's, like, run at you lineup eventually fades.
Double jump in. It's so hard to split push if you're Immortals without getting caught. That's why we keep on seeing Febby die in these situations, but at the same time, it is buying space, time for more items on these heroes. I'm not sure what I'm leading to.
Somebody's got to die.
Because we already kind of talked about there's no big items, but maybe they could just grind into it.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen right now. You just have to hope that Empire decides never to try to go high ground.
So you're basically saying that as Immortals, your game plan is that Empire do not attempt the whole entire objective of Dota 2, the video game.
Technically, yeah, sure. They're just going for kills right now. That's not the worst thing in the world for Immortals.
Yeah.
Yeah. The longer Dota goes, like, people make mistakes. Like, this is a mistake.
It's always opportunities for pickoffs. Mapojka doesn't
Is it,
get
though?
the name of the black hole. The Dark Rift, though.
You gotta get Velo
Get
finally.
your boys out of there. Retreat, retreat. Oh no, the Lifestealer died.
Casualties. Acceptable casualties.
Velo and Febby were so close to dying too.
Velo was like 10 health, man.
Yeah, they were both below 100 HP. I'm pretty sure.
You gotta, sometimes somebody's gotta tank it for the homies. And unfortunately, that was MP. Not everyone's getting out of there.
At least they killed the Bane.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the longer the game goes, the more prone people are to making mistakes. And now they don't have Black Hole or BKB on Enigma. So maybe this is a play for you. MP revives, you go for a smoke and try to pick off a core.
Do you think that's true? They're more prone to mistakes the later the game goes, or is it just the consequences of those mistakes are more dire?
It's like a dual opportunity.
Okay.
It works in both ways. Like, yeah, the bigger your goal lead, the more disastrous the mistakes will be when you do make them. But at the same time, like, people get lulled into these rhythms in Dota, where eventually you'll make like some errors. If they could get a core kill right now, that'd be perfect. But it feels like Immortals is not willing to do that. They're not certain where the wards are. They even have a smoke? I actually can't see over this laptop. Oh, they do have a smoke, yes. Alright, so Febby has.
Febby's ready to go. But what do they smoke to? They don't really have a strong initiation point.
No,
that's the problem. They don't have a blink stun.
They don't have a Sand King of their own.
And it's funny, in game 1, Sand King was the far inferior initiation. Now he's actually the best one in the game. Lacking the Void, Immortals not sure what to do here besides split push and teleport out whenever they're challenged. Looks like Febby's gonna get caught here inside the Roshan pit, which is up and Empire haven't taken yet.
Their team does not do Roshan.
My god. There was
that hurt.
A loud crackling noise.
Do you hear that too?
Yeah.
What was that?
That was a chord thing.
Ah, that hurt. It's all good though. Nobody noticed.
MP still has just an S and Y. He's got 1,800 gold. What in the world does he build next?
I don't know.
Dude, Royo's trying to get like a 35-minute S and Y as well.
That's a Chinese build. Drums in the BKB. We're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what one item puts MP back into this game.
That is true.
Maybe Nullifier or something?
Stop the BKB of Enigma and then blow him up.
Yeah, that could potentially be your play. Because everything else seems so underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, does AC really change anything on your...
They caught the Gyrocopter, and he's going to die to the Tiny combination pretty easily. The Paralyzing Cast going to do some decent work, and the Maledict on Nyx, but the Lifestealer's not going to go for that one. Yoku tries to catch some extra heroes here, completely whiffs on the Burrow Strike.
Empire just continue to go for kills. They have built a 20k advantage. Oh, they know that they're less one hero.
Yeah, they
should
saw
go.
TP. They're just going to go for it here, see if they can actually take a 4 versus 4. Here comes the epicenter, though, from Yoku. But MP, he's already popped the rage, but now the Black Hole comes in, grabbing all 3 heroes. The Lifestealer, he may survive through this, and he's going to try and get the kill on Nyx. The Nightmare actually buys him a little bit of time. Nyx turn, fighting against MP, and MP will drop before he can pick up that kill. The Maledict, not nearly going to be enough. Tiny survives. Immortals tried to push out, tried to take a 4 versus 4 without their Gyrocopter and without the Razor, but it ends in disaster, as you would expect. With a 22,000 gold lead, Empire are close to being able to close out this game 2 and give us a game 3. The first game 3.
What a nice showcase for Ghostix Black Holes.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 3-mans. Can't really ask for much more than that, as the Gyrocopter going to lay down the call down, but he is not really in a position to force them back, as Nyx is quite low. They're pinging for him. The rocket's going to go.
Damage on him with the homing missile, trying to chase after him. There is going to be a force staff to be able to save him. Flat cannon shots to the back line as well. Going from Maposhka. Snowball up to the high ground. Didn't grab the Gyrocopter though, so Febby's by himself. And a Nightmare is all it takes to be able to disengage. Maposhka should be able to get out, as well as the rest of Empire. Well, maybe not. To the trees. Hide. That does not reveal non-invis heroes. I'm sorry, Febby. Dust will not do you any good. Bane TP's out successfully, and Empire clean escape after taking the mid lane of Rax, or at least the melee Rax anyway.
Yeah, still haven't gone for a Roshan or anything like that. They're still so confident about how far ahead they are, and they would be correct in that assumption. And the major item pickup on Immortals.
Febby, he's been here before, but he's wisened up. A little bit faster on that Blink Dagger. Trigger Finger gets away.
Yule Scepter completed on Yoku. Another item for him to play around with as he feels quite invincible.
Yeah, he can just dive in all he wants. Yule Scepter always ready to disengage if necessary. Snowball picks up the Lifestealer. That's a great little play. Isn't enough to be able to save MP. Well, the Ice Shard makes it a little bit better. Operation Save MP is in full go. Velo even popping the Dark Rift to make sure they get their carry out alive. Empire did claim the life of Febby, as well as pop to BKB, so...
Imagine Roshan has to be on your agenda at some point.
Yeah.
It can't just be to continue
Immortals
to kill
immediately
these guys.
smoke push out, but not together? What is this?
I mean, Velo's kind of smoked with a Glimmer Cape.
No, his smoke actually popped, I think, on the Sand King. That was so weird.
Okay, that was the smoke.
Now you have an Octarine Core on the Enigma. And that's the problem, essentially, right? Is that every small little item that Immortals gets that doesn't really change a whole lot, Empire getting big late game-changing items.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he needed the Octarine Core to be able to win this game, but...
Yeah. It'll just make it that much easier for him.
Top shrine has fallen.
It's now. They're grouping up again. They've got Black Hole up. He's level 20.
Velo. There's the Black Hole with a BKB. That's all three. Velo's not going to be able to get the Dark Rift out of him. In fact, it's on cooldown. Toss over on Develop. They're going to be able to take them both over. Nice little play from our Tiny and MP. The only one outside of that Black Hole who could do anything. Tried to challenge some heroes and immediately got all of his damage zapped away by the Razor. Immortals going to throw their buybacks out. Maybe even forced to use a Lifestealer buyback as well, but not sure how these fights change. No Black Hole, yes, but it's still a Razor who's gigantic. They're going to try and catch some heroes. Nice Ice Shards with the Firestorm, but Force Staffs are getting him over the edge now. Febby is the one who's overextended. FN trying to go for a chip lane? No, he's just going to play it out. Steals a little damage from MP and focuses on the kill on Febby.
And buybacks were committed. Immortals trying to make this hold. There's no Black Hole on the side of Empire. So this might prompt them into thinking they can win the fight. They're going to start opening up on the FN.
Again, the Force Staffs always saving them from these Firestorm plays.
Might just repel them, though, from taking racks for the time being.
Yeah, they're a little bit low.
No, they're just going to go right back in. They feel quite confident. The range racks is low. They are going to bring it down. The melee racks shortly to follow. And that is going to leave Immortals with one set left into this game.
Razor caught again, but he does have the BKB.
And they are rushing forward. I'm not sure towards what, though.
To their doom, Blitz Dota. All right, just drop an item on your way, sure. Now he's trying to figure it out. He's like, wait, how do I get all the items in my inventory? All right, we're good.
He figured it out.
Solved the puzzle in the end.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under Radiant's attack. Bottom shrine has fallen.
What is the miracle play for Immortals?
Empire would have to whiff the hole. Wait, is that 100%?
That is 100%.
The game just thinks it's over.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're probably right here. Another three-man Black Hole with a toss hit from Nyx as well. Gyrocopter is fighting and standing alone. They call it GG. Well, you pretty much knew what was going to happen for about 30 minutes of this 33-minute game.
Yeah, still, well done by Empire. Nice bounce-back game.
Very clean. They just kept on fighting without Roshan and never lost a fight.
Ghostic was monstrous in this game.
Yeah, great Enigma for him. So what was the difference? Game 1, Game 2?
They kept their lead, never really threw it away. They were patient with their high ground. Last time, remember, they just started running up high ground. They lose a hero. That prompted Immortals to go for the Roshan. The team fights were much better executed than in game number 1. So it's just, it was like the similar game, but just cleaner overall, like better execution.
All right. Well, feels good for Empire. I think Immortals, a rough loss in game 2, especially since game 1 was such a slow game. All of a sudden, a faster pace in game 2. And it felt like Immortals really just couldn't keep up. As soon as they lost that laning phase, it didn't really seem like anything was going to change in that game. Maybe a different draft for them. Do you feel like, looking back on that game, was there a draft advantage for Empire?
Yeah, I think they were able to play so fast.
Yeah.
And the Razor just, I think, completely crushed Immortals lanes. Like, there was no lane that I think they were happy with configuration-wise.
Okay. Well, break time. We'll be back. Game 3 is on its way. The conclusion of this Immortals versus Empire match soon.